HowExpert! Top 10 Container Gardening Tips. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit howexpert.com to learn more. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more HowExpert Top 10 videos in the future. Moving on, let's talk about the HowExpert Top 10 Container Gardening Tips. Number 10. Get the right size container for your choice of plants. The right size container will allow your plant roots to have enough space to grow. Plants like squash and zucchini would need a bigger circumference to allow your plant to bush out and hold all the leaves and fruits that it's going to produce. One ever-bearing strawberry plant would do great in a smaller size container. A few strawberry plants would do great in a small recycled kids pool. Getting the right size container also eliminates having to buy more soil than you need and saves you money. Number 9. Location is key. Your container needs to be in a location where it gets the right amount of sun. The good thing about growing in containers is the ability to move your container to a different location. If your plant is getting too little sun or too much sun, you'll be able to move it into a better area for its required sunlight. Plants like kale, spinach, and chard do better in shaded, cool areas. Plants like sunflowers, corn, and zucchini do better in 6 hours or more in the sun. Number 8. Pick the right material for your container. Plastic containers have been a favorite type of container for gardening. The plastic containers can be a repurposed container that you got from a fast food place that had an ingredient in it like pickles or flour. Pick a material that allows you to put drain holes in the bottom of your container so your plant's roots don't get waterlogged or root rot. Plastic containers are easier to work with and are lighter to move around. Some metal containers are good to use but get hot and heat the soil too much, causing the soil to dry out faster. Repurposing a metal container is a bit harder too. Some metal containers contain lead, which is a naturally occurring metal that's very toxic to all forms of life and can contaminate the soil feeding your plant. The cheaper option would be the plastic container if you're gardening on a budget. Number 7. Buying the right variety of seeds. Some types of seeds will have the label perfect for container growing. A 2-gallon container would be perfect for a smaller or baby variety of spinach, but a corn plant would need 5 to 7 gallons for enough room for the roots to establish. Even if the package doesn't say for growing in containers, don't let that stop you from growing it. That plant could be planted in the bigger size container you've chosen and still do wonderful. Knowing your growing zone will also help to know what varieties will do good in your area for your season. Grow a plant that does well in your zone, in the season you're growing, in the right size container you've chosen, and you should see prolific results. Number 6. Give your plants the support they need. A tomato cage fits perfect in a 5-gallon bucket. Small trellises can be purchased or made for plants like cucumbers, melons, blackberries, and peas that can be placed in a container or beside the container for perfect use. Larger varieties of plants like sunflowers would need a stake for support until the stalk becomes strong enough to support the flower. Number 5. Leave room for you to get to all of your plants. Having space between your containers so that you can have access to all your plants is a must. You will need to be able to harvest what's been grown. Space will allow you to be able to water your plant and to be able to inspect for disease or insect damage. Another thought about growing outdoors in containers is being able to cut the grass around the containers. If you're using a larger container, it would be slightly harder to move when full of dirt. Space between your containers allows you to cut the grass so your plants aren't growing in a grass jungle. Number 4. Harvest what's ripe fast. A plant's main goal is to produce seed. When harvestable fruits and vegetables are left on a plant, that sends a signal to the plant that it's done its job of producing seed. That signal tells the plant to slow down on producing those delicious edible goods because its job is done. Keep harvesting to keep up your plant's production, and when in doubt, succession sow to get a new plant going when your old plant has hit its peak production. Number 3. Check for critters. Bugs damage is never fun and can leave your plant bare. Insects also carry diseases like blight that will kill your plants that you cared for so tenderly. Using a bug deterrent will keep those pesky bugs away from your plants. There are many options for pesticides on the market that you can use to help reduce insect damage. If a more natural chemical-free way is what you're looking for, then there's some great ones available for purchase or they can be made at home. Number 2. Water. When growing in containers, the soil tends to dry out faster than it would if you were growing in an in-ground garden. Giving the plants a little extra to drink will help quench that thirst. Plants like cucumbers are high water content type fruit that need to be watered more often than plants like tomatoes. It's recommended to water a cucumber plant before picking, whereas tomatoes should be picked before being watered. Tomato plants produce natural sugars when under stress from not being watered. To pick a tomato right after a good rain means the tomato's flavor wouldn't be as rich as it would be if picked before the rain. Number 1. Pick a good soil. Picking soil is like picking what you want to eat. You want the good, healthy stuff. Your plant does too. Reading the label on the soil bag will give a better understanding on how nourishing that bag of soil will be. A good potting mix is a great choice. Another great choice would be compost. Compost has many benefits and is packed full of good stuff for your plants. A good food source will have your plants happy, healthy, and producing like crazy. If you liked our video, be sure to click like and subscribe for more HowExpert Top 10 videos for all topics from A to Z in the future. Also, let us know what other celebrity or any topic that you want us to do a HowExpert Top 10 video on in the future in the comments below. Thank you, have an amazing day, and take care. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit HowExpert.com to learn more.